Here he is. Here's my son. Hey, buddy. Wakey wakey. Hello. This is my hungry boy. He's so hungry. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, so that's a huntsman. What is that? Which thing are we referring to right now, Holly? Are we referring... Hi, how's it going? Whoop, my music's not playing. There we go. Anyways, hi, hello, welcome, good evening. How's it going? Obviously. I need to start yawning at the beginning of, like, every stream. Oh, but that's only because I'm chronically tired. Because I don't get myself enough sleep. Because I make poor decisions. Anyways, how's it going? We are, once again, diving back into Slay the Princess. I played the re-release of the Pristine Cut a little while ago. I don't exactly remember when that was. I could look it up, but I don't care to. And it liked it so much, I just put it on the schedule because I wanted to come back to it. And then some people voted it up, so we're playing it sooner than I expected to, honestly. And I'm okay with this fact. So yeah, we're going to be going through Slay the Princess, the Pristine Cut. And I don't know if I'm going to 100% this game or not. At least not on stream. Excuse me. I can't stop yawning. Oh my god. But I also don't know how one gets to the end of this game. So I may end up 100%ing it because that's how you get to the end of the game. I actually don't know. But we're going to keep playing through it until we get to the end, whatever that looks like. Oh, we're still in emote mode. Oh, god damn it. Why is it? What? It's not supposed to be like that. XX, just ping me on Discord. Actually, no, because streamer mode comes on, right? So it probably wouldn't have worked. Anyways, sorry about that. Oh, you know what happened there? I turned it off to test out my auto greeter shoutout code, and I forgot to turn it back on after. So when I started the stream, it toggled emote mode, which flipped it. So my bad. It's my fault. Nobody's shocked. Oh my god. Cannot stop streaming. Yawning. Also, this is the wrong spot. You're supposed to go there. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna play Slay the Princess now. May as well just hop into it because I think there's a lot more game to game. I don't remember where's a good spot for me to go, though. I'm going to start here. I'm also waiting for the game to launch. That was a little preemptive. There's a lot of game there, to be sure. To be sure. I'm still waiting for the game to launch. Wow. Okay, there we go. Jeezy crazy. Okay, this is a horror game. It's not capturing. There we go. Okay, I guess continue. Okay. So we have to pick some of these, right? So we're just gonna fast forward until we find a new
cabin is all. You take the blade.
How do I auto? Okay, enter the basement. So we're just gonna go until we hit a new branch, and then we will explore it.
The basement creaks open, revealing a.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down. That isn't a good idea.
Oh, this is new. Okay, we can't skip this.
Knife. and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade.
Is this auto?
Don't you
Or is this auto?
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Nope, let's do it.
You ignore the trembling and
Oh no, shit, that was new. Was the same.
you go into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other? Then I'm not talking to you.
You stare at the prince.
I'm trying to remember things we have done.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Game's a little quiet. 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit so I can slide this up more. There we go.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Man, what do I look like?
Sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
I'm not
You
people.
shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She
Shit.
kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
She seems
As you
mad.
lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end.
Movie night tonight, but you're gonna watch until then. Fair enough, you know.
I'm afraid it is.
Ugh.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Hooray!
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a...
So I'm just checking. Oh, that's the history. Okay.
You're here to slay her. Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing
Oh,
you
this
can
is new.
do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I'll check one other thing. Auto horror time. Is this... Hold on. I'm gonna move it all the way over this way. And we're gonna see if this is the fast one or the skip. I'm trying to figure. Hold on. After choices, transitions. Okay.
Of course we died.
Hold on.
We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
Okay, so that means this goes this way.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess.
Oh, that's better.
Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after?
Interesting that the narrator's actually being
Princess, left
the
unhindered,
thinker in this
brought
one.
the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would.
Just because in previous
She
iterations,
ended the entire world.
the narrator was the one kind of losing the plot.
We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Ow. Ooh. Sorry, I had like an errant hair on my neck. Everyone has those, right?
Just be quick about it. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that.
Are we humoring him, right?
Despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation.
God, I might need a guide or something for this game to find all the endings.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist.
Mind you, Voice of the Broken I think is new. So whatever we're doing here is going to be new.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
So obviously we pledge ourselves to her.
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special.
Ooh.
Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
I mean, maybe.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better.
Okay.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Okay.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine.
It's true.
Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
Okay.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest.
Hi, Admiral.
The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror?
I still find it so interesting that the narrator can't see this mirror.
We'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we...
Like, I don't know what that's about, obviously, yet, but I think that is such an interesting hook.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Stanley Parable level narrator. Honestly, it feels like this was originally written with that person in mind, and then for some reason they couldn't do it, you know?
As do I. And yeah, there is. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What
Why,
good
indeed.
would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Mm-hmm. Oh, approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Bit of Space Quest narrator mixed in for good measure.
Some things are better left unseen. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Don't worry, Admiral, there was never a mirror. So what the fuck happened here? Oh, okay, hold on.
Creaks
Hang on.
revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Admiral, have you not seen Slay the Princess before? I streamed it a little while back, but it was only for one evening, I think. No? Okay. Boy, how to explain this game. You wake up on a path in the forest, and the narrator informs you that you are on your way to a cabin to slay a princess. And when you get there, she is going to try everything in her power to stop you from doing that. From therein, it is choices. You obviously ask questions, you can make decisions, all that. The mechanics that you are seeing now are the core mechanics of the game. However, every time she dies or you die, it loops. And things change in like every loop. And then there's also more stuff kind of outside of space and time, and it seems as if you are trying to rebuild the princess in this out of time space by killing all the other iterations of her, because when you do that, they get added to the amalgam that's in the beyond time. Because apparently we love her and she loves us or something like that. It's very... I don't know what's going on mostly still. I've told you things that have happened in this game. It's kind of, yeah, a little bit of the one, a little bit of Groundhog Day. It's a horror Groundhog Day with a larger overarching narrative. I have played 2.5 hours of this game, give or take, and I barely have a handle of what's going on. I'm just telling you kind of broad strokes, stuff that has happened. But a lot of the princesses are spooky, scary skeletons that are uncomfortable.
Huh.
This game also has 131 achievements,
Kind of nice.
to give you a general idea of how many princesses there are.
Princess lives here. Slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding. when
Yes,
you said
ma'am.
It was booming.
This is new. I haven't
She
seen
wasn't
this
like
one.
this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless
Sprays
everything
chrome on
was,
teeth, yeah.
How you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what.
She's
that
going to enter the gates of
He's
Valhalla.
not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Asking for fatherly advice? Sure, I'll take that. I've just woken up on a path in the forest with no memory. Some disembodied voice told me they need to continue to the cabin ahead and kill Princess, but oh no, she's hot. What should I do? Do what your heart tells you to do. You know, like, I can't tell you what you should do with your life. You're a grown man. I trust you to make good decisions. So when you get to that cabin, you just do what you feel is right. And I love you and support you.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time.
Making my way downtown.
Every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view.
Hello, Raiders. Hi, how's it going? It says it's a party of one, and yet I see 3 lovely names here. I like how Eno's saying that out loud. Admiral was writing it out. We all had a moment there. That's great. Fletchified? Fletch. I want to make sure there's Bryce Fletch, which I presume is possibly one half of the Fletchified group. Twitch be dumb. Twitch be dumb. It's true. Regardless, hi Nova. Foxtified. Bryce Fletch. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. We're playing a horror story that's also apparently a love story. Right now it's a black. I don't know why it's a black screen. We're in it together. If you've never played this game before, we are in spoiler territory just by the nature of the game and the fact that we're like 3 hours in. So this is your warning. Also, whatever is going to come up after this black screen is probably going to be horror inducing. So there's that too. But hi everyone. Hold on. I'm going to do this since we have a black screen. It has a lot of it.
Family.
Hi, T3. Yes, this game does have a lot of endings. It has 131 achievements, and as I understand it, there's an achievement for every ending. Or something like that. There are probably some other achievements that are not ending specific. But yeah, you loop in this game a lot. There are many things. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Hi, my name is Corey. I'm a variety streamer. I play all kinds of stuff. I've been weirdly on a bit of a narrative story kick lately, but that's my schedule is voted up by the viewers, by the community. So blame them. Here's some stuff about me. Favorite games, stuff about like me. I tried to get you away from that with Reddit. You did, yeah. And Reddit was good, T3. You made a good choice. It's just not something I wanted to play over and over. But it was very good. You picked a good game, T3. You like full on. That was a good game. Is a good game. And it was free on Epic, so if you have Epic, the odds are you also have Red Out 2. You want to vote up Obra Dinn? Okay, give me a second. I wish there's a way for me to do this through this, and there probably is, but I need to authenticate with Google Sheets, and it's a whole thing, and not something I want to figure out right now. Obra Dinn. Just search for Obra Dinn. Where are you? There you are. 5 votes. When does the System Shock getting remastered really? I don't know, T3. It's in the works. As much as I know, it's just in the works. I'll give you this, T3. The first System Shock, so System Shock 1, does have a remaster that is released. If you want, we can play that one. But if you want to wait for number 2, I don't know when that's happening. Anyways, yes, just to finish off the raid thing. Here's places you can find me, obviously. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, right now, the current game, no System Shock 2? Okay, well, then you shall have to wait. God damn it, what was I saying? I play lots of stuff. Right now, it's Slay the Princess. We just finished trying out Red Out 2, and before that was Let Bygones Be Bygones, which broke like hell. It was unfortunate. Next week, I'll actually be playing a whole bunch of Next Fest demos, since it's Next Fest, and then we'll be back to Slay the Princess until we finish it. If you stick around, you can use points or bits to make me eat beans or sour candies, or other more horrible sour candies, or talk in funny voices, or all kinds of things. I also have a whole bunch of game keys to give away, so you can use points to just get yourself a free game, if that's something you want to do. And that's all the things, I think. So now we will go back over to you. I played Coral Island for a long time. That's true, Admiral, but that's only because I played it on Fridays when I didn't have other things to play. It was a protracted playthrough, but not as long as it could have been.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Okay, this is supposed to be auto going. It's not.
It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
Why is the auto skip not auto skip? Hey, auto forward time.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Huh, the auto skip has stopped.
You brought that knife again.
Oh no, now it's on. Fuck,
Even
I'm just
you
stupid.
know it's useless.
I just turned it off because I'm stupid.
Drop it.
Which direction we want to go in? Do we want to stab mommy or listen to mommy? She killed us last time.
As if on command, the blade slipped
What?
from your grasp. It cracked.
Oh, I see. It's one of those ones.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us?
I don't think there's
facts, and the fact is,
other versions of her that isn't Dommy in some way. I don't think there's sub version of Princess.
You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No?
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Getting Deadpool vibes from 3 conflicting voices? Ah.
Even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
There was one where she tried to play weak.
Speak.
There was one where she tried to play weak, and It was all a lie.
That lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever
That is
you do,
true.
don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
You getting Deadpool vibes with the 3 conflicting voices? Yeah, so that's also new. So when you can't stick around, you've got a commitment to fill. Boo! Well, thank you for coming by, Nova. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope your commitment is good and fun, and you get much joy out of it. So you don't know what happened with the mirror. The mirror always disappears when we touch it, Admiral. It's not the first time we've seen that mirror. It's a great question. Next question. So the multiple voices thing is actually something else that happens throughout this game. When we first play it, the only voice is the narrator and her. And then after we've died a couple times, other voices start showing up. There's the voice of the hero, the voice of the scoundrel, the voice of the broken, the voice of the fearful, I think was called. Voice of... There's all different voices of personalities that show up depending on the runs that you do. And it changes things.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen?
Oh.
You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
Maybe I do.
Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
Galadriel of the Ring
As your
vibes?
eye falls
Yeah.
on the blade, you feel
That's probably an inspiration.
some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
You know, I have an idea. Oh, wow. That's fun. You know, instead of watching a bad movie, why don't you bring all your friends over here and watch this? This is basically a movie.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
Okay.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
She's literally floating. We are not in a great place.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quite...
I'm not saying blow it off, you know. I'm saying just load my stream up in your Discord.
Brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
Well,
Oh, we'll end this all.
yeah.
Right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
I like how I can't resist. Nah, we're gonna try.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't... As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Did Broken do that? Yup.
Do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
This is the most dommy of the mommies
You
tonight.
don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants.
Yeah, Broken doesn't have a will to fight back.
What are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, to keep it from perforating vital organs.
It's not working very
The
well.
blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Ma'am, I am built on spite.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Yeah, have you met a human?
Continue to approach the princess,
Like-
even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
Whew, bet that
This
stings.
would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet,
Dang, she got some hips on her.
chest heaving as your blood pools in the
Hi, Pokadol.
floor,
I mean, hi.
coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
She got them heart and hips,
Your
yeah.
devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me
But hi, Pokadol, we're trying to slay a princess.
than you were before.
Admittedly, it's going poorly this time around.
Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, that's the meaning, isn't it?
Depends who's playing the game, my dude.
Of her. It's a mercy. Take it.
I'm a stabber.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Shakira would sing about those hips. It's true. Think of her as a sealed away forgotten deity where prophecy suggests some schmuck with your vibe will finally defeat her as an interesting path in her brain. What do we want to do? Do we want to try and slay her or do we want to pledge? I've been going with slay through this whole bit so far.
This already worn by travel, and has been seen by one of my many eyes.
Oh.
What?
Oh, whoa. Oh. Oh. That was interesting. Oh shit, I have to put a cover on a thing. Hold on a second. I'm gonna wake my kids up with all my woos. So that voice that you heard there, Admiral, was the princess, but from beyond the veil. That amalgam princess that we're making. I don't have a good name for her. Okay, I guess we'll resist then.
It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion.
Princess Prime, yes. Princess
But
Zero.
you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there.
Seriously, the hips on this woman.
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries, your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond.
Oh yeah, this game has so many content warnings. It's a horror game. A horror game about murdering a person. There's content warnings up and down this thing.
Everything goes
Just
dark.
blanket content warnings.
Die.
The apotheosis. Okay, this is when we see...
You're on a path
Oh, no, never
in
mind.
the woods. And at the end of that path... Oh, let me guess. And at the end of the
Ah,
path...
contrarian.
There's a cabin! Excuse me? Come on, man. We can see it right in front of us. And besides, we've been here like, 5 times already? I think this is 3. Who cares? The woods are always the worst part anyway. Nothing ever happens in them. I care.
Hey, you're gonna want to alt-tab if your kid comes over.
An entire other reality has been damned to oblivion. One reality is already an incalculable loss. And there is a massive difference between 3 and 5.
That's not massive.
Feels like the numbers getting thrown around here are too big not to be abstract.
3 and 5 are not that big.
5.
Thank you.
Numbers like entire realities. At the end of the day, it's all just silly, isn't it? None of us can count to a whole reality, and he's asking us to think about the difference between 3 and 5. You're already starting to lose the thread. Just because you can't personally sum up the contents of an entire reality doesn't mean that the people inhabiting it don't contain moral value. If you have any sense of ethics left in there, if you have any moral compass, please, you have to stop her.
Something, 12th Doctor. You're not wrong.
Might makes right, and she didn't even
God, we're up to 4 voices now.
last time to prove her power. So what? Just because she made us kill ourselves, we're supposed to submit to her authority without question? I knew when to surrender to our better. You would have lost eventually anyway, and it would only have made her angry. It would only have made things worse for all of us. Oh, for the love of... Can you all please just get on with it? You're not making this any easier for yourselves. Do we even have agency right now? We either do what
Hero's
she
gotten a little
wants,
smarter.
or we do what he wants. Either way, we're listening to somebody. Please, nothing in life is a binary. Obviously, we...
Hear that? Nothing in life is a binary.
...that nobody wants. You all talk about choices and freedom, but there is no choice when it comes to the will of a god. I'm going to cut you off right there. She is not a god, and the more times you fail, the harder it becomes for you to succeed. But the fact that you're still here means you still have a chance to pull this off.
This is all net new.
Princess, dangerous, cabin, slay, now.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right, Admiral. We don't have agency during that whole conversation, which is a bit meta. And yet, you know, that's kind of the thing, right? We don't know how many realities there are. So 3 out of n, right? If it's 3 out of 4, that's huge, you know. But if it's 3 out of like a gajillion, which is not a real number, but you know what I mean. And Admiral, do we have agency though? We have 5 choices. Is that agency?
And right now you have neither the time nor the mental acuity to handle a single response. It's now or never. As you finish your inane question, the ground quakes beneath your feet. You feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway and then crumble. breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin.
Okay.
Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
Okay.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free.
And you already know everything you need to know.
Alright.
As you step forward, the cabin explodes.
Ooh, this is different.
You're flung backwards.
Ooh, some parallax too. Whee.
Trees debris rains down around you.
The end of something. Witness your better's ascension.
You watch in paralyzed
Oh, cool.
awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you.
We're gonna have to mount her like Shadow of the Colossus.
Stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
It's kind of huge. It's true. This is somebody's kink.
This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never. Well, we could always run away, right? To where? I don't know. Anywhere.
You're all ruining the moment of her ascension. Having no respect for the divine.
Goodbye.
To your core, you turn to flee, leaping from the piece of floating debris and into the empty space beyond where the woods used to be. This isn't cowardice, this is a calculated move. Sure it is. Can it be a bit of both? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a little afraid of her.
Are you so awestruck by my glory that you cannot bear to look at me? I think not.
As you fall, a great force pulls at the back of your neck,
Aw, man.
yanking you away from whatever lack of destination you were headed towards.
Now witness me!
Yes, your grace.
Sorry, Mommy. I mean, no.
She turns you to face her. The scruff of your neck is held firmly between two giant fingers. So much for running away.
I forgive you your transgressions, but my destiny is inescapable.
She's right, we don't even have a weapon. It's over, isn't it?
She's gonna have to eat us. We'll get her from the inside.
Sends her mercy.
We're gonna rearrange her guts.
She says, why are you all resisting in the first place?
Vor? In this particular case, D3, yes, it would be Vor. But it's Vor for murder.
So much for spiting her. Spiting him it is.
Good. I can feel your heart opening to mine.
Her words are like a gentle tug, drawing you closer to the mountain of her body.
Nice.
You land softly on her shoulder.
I'd like to mountain that body.
Skin is warm and comforting. This really is the end. Is it the end? We're still here.
Everything is gone, but
Sorry, what was that? God damn it. Hold on. History. Don't you dare. The night sky unweaves into a textured nothingness. He does not respond. Okay.
He's really gone. Huh, that's unexpected. But he would have said something by now if he were still here. Right? Yeah. Never knew when to shut up.
Yeah, I don't have a kink command. That's over on Ross's
I
channel.
liked him so much. Can't believe all it took to make him disappear was saying no once. What happens now?
This world is but an illusion, keeping us from my ascension. A play of shadows dancing on
Hi, Chucky. Princess reaches forward into the textured nothing and... Fuck you. God damn it. No. Princess reaches forward into the textured nothing and buries her fingers in its divine flesh. Her touch is soft.
see? This is nice. We're safe. She's helping us. She's helping everyone.
I'll be honest, Voice of the Broken annoys me. Her grip tightens and somehow you feel it. The pain sits at the limits of your comprehension. Like, fuck you, god damn it. Like an endless sea of hands falling on you one after another before finally collapsing in on themselves. You lose yourself in the darkness.
It will be over soon, little bird. Then your eyes will open. The door will
50 more minutes. Note for myself. Fair enough. Night, Eno. Have fun.
Soon? Soon? Does that mean there's gonna be more?
It could be the auto skip, but no, I think it's meant to be cutting those off.
He would love that, wouldn't he?
But maybe. I don't know. Detection nothing is ripped open with it. You are ripped open. But to see a dissociative pain, you can feel everything that is... God damn it. Okay. You can feel everything that is you pouring out into the ether. Then you feel something else too. Anger. A need to lash out and hurt that which is hurting you.
No. If suffering is what she demands of us, suffering is what we'll give. Why would I doubt our God?
It is so tempting to see what's on the other side of that great big nothing, but I think I'm gonna lose myself if this goes on for much longer. Why do we have to be the ones going through all this pain while she gets all the benefits?
Blasphemer. We have been given the gift of offering ourselves to a higher purpose, and you spit in its face.
Yes. You're coming with me. Whoops. There's a wave of something. Hold on. We're just gonna wait. Okay, there we go. Make her suffer with you. You're in a wave of tendrils racing against themselves, and down the shape of an arm, you snap around it. Ah! Relief as a massive burden is lifted from you. You are in one piece. You are in your body.
Knew it! That old windbag was hiding all kinds of secrets from us. There's a whole world out there.
I don't know what to say. It's just so
Oh yeah, look at that.
beautiful. Doesn't the mere sight make all the misery worth it?
See a small hole? Indeed.
Not all that.
What did you do to me? I was supposed to be perfect. I was supposed to be a god. I was all of those things. And now I'm not. All because of you.
She looks up with a futile... God damn it. She looks up futile sorrow at something beautiful that sits beyond. And hopping into that menu sometimes skips this. You could have had everything if only you'd give me a little more. We could have been free on the wings of my glory, and now we're stuck here forever. Yeah. So hitting return seems to skip the line it's on to, which sucks. The old man shut, and as it closes, something.
No, how do we get it back? Can we try again? We'll suffer so much better if we get to try again, I promise.
Okay. I, for one, am perfectly happy to be stuck here forever. It's more than if it's the price we paid for taking her down a peg. The whole men shut, and as it closes, the tendrils loose their grip, freeing the princess as they retreat. Okay.
It's so cold here. If this wasn't enough, then what is?
Oh, here's the hands. Derp. That part's normal. Ah, but here's the mirror.
She's gone.
Become shackled to a divine being. A rare achievement, apparently. You don't get the opportunity to try again, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. She's gone. Where'd she go? Should we try and find her?
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
This is what we all deserve, isn't it?
Yes.
Just messing with us, right?
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. You've unraveled. Ooh, that's a new one. Hang on, that was new. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You don't like that hand? You find yourself in the long quiet again. Proceed. You are at the cabin. Okay, I'm going to turn off auto scroll for this, I think.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us.
Fresh Tears on Winter's Day sounds like like an emo pop punk song.
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Ow. Ow. Black Tabby Games. Abby Howard. Yeah. The Strip Search alumni. Yes, she's done The Last Halloween. She's doing Scarlet Hollow, which is another game that I've been playing when it's available and is awesome. Abby is fantastic.
This one sits at the cusp of awakening. A new god waiting to be born. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she has finally found her light.
Okay.
If I did, I would already be awake. No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Okay, so he does. Okay.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
I'm trying to get through this.
Whatever you do next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Okay, I guess we're going to pause here, because ads are about to start. So we'll be back in like 3-ish minutes, so go get yourself a drink, a snack, go to the washroom, stare into the middle distance, contemplate reality, I guess, and we'll be back in a bit. I shouldn't be surprised at a horror game from Abby. No, you shouldn't. Also, I'm starting to think maybe... I don't know where is a good spot on the screen where I'm going to... Maybe just top center. I'm trying to not obscure everything.
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn. You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you. I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Actually, you know what? It's probably down here. This is probably the least obstructive spot, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, right. When you do the wait, that's one of the things where it kills the game. We just have to launch it again. I forgot that that's the thing that it does. That happened last time, too.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Just waiting for the game to capture. Takes forever for some reason. There we go. Alright, let's mosey.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
If this ends up bringing us to like a natural conclusion to the game, I will probably pull up a guide to start getting us towards the other endings, just so we can go through them and see what they are. Because I don't think I would be able to remember every one of my paths in order to not get duplicates if we have to like rerun the game.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Okay. Bring the apotheosis to her. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Hi, Zine. How's it going? Back to chapter 1, yep. Man, I'm so glad the auto announcer works. So a lot of this we've already done.
While I appreciate the men...
We're just gonna skip through all the stuff.
Yes, but you'll have to... I'm talking about the... Don't... Look, you're all... Does it? Oh, if only that... Are you serious? Of course I haven't. It's a secret. Then I guess we'll just have to see...
Okay, we've done all this before. How you doing tonight, Zine? Spoilers.
The cabin is almost entirely...
You're missing the other voices. Yeah.
The air is stale and musty.
Spoilers.
Floor and walls are painted.
We're like 3 or 4 hours into this game at this point.
Only furniture of note.
And
a plain wooden table, perched on...
By virtue of being here, spoilers ahead.
The blade is your...
Also content warnings. Just blanket content warnings.
Do this right. You take the blade from the table.
Okay. All the warnings, yeah.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Then drop the knife.
No.
You ignore the trembling in your...
Then I'm not talking to you.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor.
Has there been
with an
fire?
Unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
I don't think fire has come up yet.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. She hesitates before answering.
Okay. As a survivor of house fire, that's one of the few things I need warning for. So I have not seen any fire in this game so far. if something's coming or if we enter that space, obviously, Admiral, you are welcome to, leave, mute, do what you got to do. And if you would like, I could ping you on Discord once we are through whatever that is. I understand. I get it.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship. Do you?
No.
I see. The silent treatment. You know, if you don't share with me, well, I'm not going to share with you.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
That's not the face you should make for
Her
that.
sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Too long. Oh?
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Hey, this is new. We haven't done this one.
Walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Anyways, how you doing tonight, Zine?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out.
Oh, we've got Voice of the Hero now.
Finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Narrator with actual opinions is really reminiscent of Stanley Parable. Yeah. But also, like everything in this game, the narrator isn't trustworthy, right? They're literally an untrustworthy narrator.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and
they've been insistent that we have to slay the princess. This princess is like, you don't have to, but also the princess has been a fucking non-stop horror show when we're in these situations. But then after, the Princess Prime, I guess we can call her, isn't. It's all very interesting because don't know what's going on.
And pleas are met with
I don't know, man. This game is
Repeat
something
myself
else.
Once again, you're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Oh, we don't even get the Slay the Princess option here now. Definitely playing with the idea of agency. Oh yeah, this whole game has been like a timey-wimey loop thing about choices and whether things actually matter. And did her dress change color? Unsure. Feel free to rewind and find out.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade on the princess's arm.
I would have cut it further down.
Unyielding,
This is a terrible spot for
you
this.
cut into her flesh.
Oh my god.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick.
Like, why wouldn't you do it just at the hand?
Able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through
Like at the wrist.
blood.
That was the worst place to cut it.
So much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
You good?
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Okie dokie. Also, I do like how our mouse changes throughout the narrative. So we start with like a finger with like the long nail, and then it's the knife, and then once the knife has been bloodied, the knife is bloodied.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the
This
world.
is interesting.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Huh.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Huh. Okay, this is interesting insofar as I don't know if this option was allowed before, but this is very interesting because we saw the narrator hijack us when the narrator itself got hijacked by the other version of the princess, the Ascension Princess. And now here it is happening to us.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
And now we're trying to resist the narrator. It's a very interesting... I don't know if this is just luck of how I've run this.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
She gonna shank us? Yeah.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground.
Those nails? Mm-hmm.
Blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Also, the titles of the chapters keep changing too.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
Yeah, we've done this. Those nails. Yeah, it is also interesting that we are obviously some kind of monster. Or some kind of mutant, or we're not a human, right? We're not the kind of typical hero character visually. And there's a whole thing about not being able to see our reflection and stuff like that. So it's interesting. It's deliberate.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
We're just unkempt. No, we've got like scales
Last time
on our arms and
I
stuff.
wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth.
Oh, we got the
Got to
skeptic
be a
this
way
time.
out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that. You know I can hear you, and as far as trying to help her goes, need I...
Yeah, we've done all this before.
Those are two very different... Let's say for a moment he died last time. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever... But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway,
The skeptic is a new voice for
the
us.
question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean?
Which we did
Yes,
before.
but in this purely... If it's the latter, do Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. Just be quick about it. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets.
Okay.
You put your hands in your pockets. An envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front.
Uh-huh.
Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her."
It's better than my actual handwriting.
Truth. That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
I have a permit. Yeah, exactly.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've... People locked her in that. I've told... Not... Look. Look.
Yeah, we've basically done all this. The skeptic's just gonna add some flavor. That isn't gonna do anything here.
A warning. Before she will lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Wink.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. He definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do. Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense.
Ugh.
You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
See, look at our
So focus up.
cursor right now.
Don't get distracted by minor details. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
So yeah, not a human hand.
Ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Mm-hmm. It does show up at the end.
You take the blade. Good idea. The door to the basement.
Okay, there's
creaks
sconces.
open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while
There's
since
its
we've had
consequences.
company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you,
Significantly more chained.
clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the
Interesting.
far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless. That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
Mm-hmm.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Yes, Admiral. It is quite pointedly noted that originally she just had the arm, which was something we could do, but now to get her out, we would have to take her head off.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
Also, yeah, they noted that one.
I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's fair.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sure.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I mean, I've seen those hips.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife.
Oh, right, the knife.
What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no
The game,
use.
yeah.
This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse,
She's speaking in universe, like the whole universe?
If you knew
Or, I don't know, Admiral.
back in the woods, why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles. I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be...
I like how we're having this whole internal monologue,
At least
and she's just staring at us.
Before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. All right? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Just Give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
I guess that answers that question a little bit, Admiral. But like, one interesting question is, this princess obviously acknowledged the fact that like this isn't the first time around, right? But is this princess the one from chapter 1? Does this princess have knowledge of all of the other times we've gone through this loop? Which means she also has knowledge of being absorbed into Prime, I guess, in a way. But like, I don't know how far her knowledge goes.
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Okay, so she...
Is that really all she knows?
Hmm.
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
That's all she's claiming to know,
She
yes.
really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
I mean, I sort of have the why. But she's at least claiming to know everything from chapter 1 of this loop. That's as much as we know. She at least knows that.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
We're gonna look at it.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know.
But maybe.
Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Why would we put our wrist in? Yeah, inspecting doesn't mean equipping it.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to.
Why would I put it on, though?
What is that?
That's not inspecting.
It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
But whatever. We're here now.
And say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Well, there we go.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Become your own jailer.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
Around our neck. Yep.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Technically, we'll dehydrate
Not to
first.
touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
No. Yep. Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. Nope.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
If we're stuck here, we've got some slack in the chains, we've got some things we can do.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change.
Rip off some of her dress and blast with a knife. Oh yeah.
You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichens.
I mean, we're wearing a robe or something, right? We could
Does
use that
make
too.
Sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass and pass.
Where's the knife now? Good question.
Pass.
I guess it's buried under
Until suddenly,
dirt.
there are no walls. And then... And...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Oh,
So
interesting.
this is the outside world. It's cold.
Task failed successfully?
she's gone. Where did she go?
Hold on. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Mm-hmm. Gaze once again at our reflection. They're gone again. The mirror always makes them leave. Oh, we're nothing at all this time. No reflection. Oh, hold on. What's that? Is that a raven? That isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow just beyond the reflection. Right. Nothing can't exist, right?
I think you know what I am.
Oh. Oh. Crack sizes on the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms. Another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. It's a raven of sorts.
Oh, I'm nothing like you.
Oh, it talks too.
I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Egg around Poe with a steel chair. Well, at least we get a whole dump of exposition.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
I don't know, like 6.
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore. I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that. Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you. Then ask them, and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically. We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
Too many questions. I don't have enough shards. You're not supposed to destroy death. Yeah, I don't really have a plan or an intent on doing that. That ends poorly literally every time.
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is given them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
I've run out of questions.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god. Even one you've woven into existence yourself.
I'm a god?
I've said my piece. My time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away.
As the final fragment of the glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The long quiet, all of this is you. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Bring the prisoner to her. When you arrive at the heart of things, there's no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find. Okay.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
That was the hands coming for us. It seems that way.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
You have a dress made of naked ewes, undulating naked ewes. This is a very fashion-forward choice.
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound.
Nice.
A pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature.
Something Bioshock Infinite. Blech. Hot take. Bioshock Infinite's whole timey-wimey loop thing sucked. Wasn't well handled. Wasn't well done.
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Is that background more of her or wings or clouds or what? Great question, Admiral.
Even as your
Next question, yeah.
To open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict. My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach. And you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten, then so be it.
To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. Believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was.
Oh, we're just gonna psychoanalyze all my choices now, huh?
Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark? Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me. You are weightless and alone, to
rooted in the gravity of an idea too great for you to hold. A tiny island caught between the death of the old and the birth of the new. But you did not go quietly. You spat in the eye of that which would claim godhood, and through that defiance, you bound us.
You like the Raven pointer? Yeah, I noticed that too.
Without me, there are no externalities to resist. And without you to resist me, there can be no externalities. It is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
Why does that one glow? That's very interesting.
You cling to your notion of pain as suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Terrifying than one's own heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
The 100-handed one from MTG. Mm-hmm.
We are the whole of reality. Is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin.
So these will all be different based on the endings that you had throughout all of this.
When it is all,
which is interesting.
you still have who you started with. A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
Chipothesius? Yeah.
And yet bodies change and consciousness goes on. The infant's body is not the child's, is not the adult's, but the thread of existence remains strung through it all.
As the clash between you abates, the princess relaxes, smiling from a distance. The respite is welcome.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Ooh, I like that.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Oh, the voices are back.
I'm all of them, I assume in the same way that you're all of you. I don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
Yeah, dog. Let's go. I don't know what's happening. Let's fucking do it. Oh, this is great. Oh, that was so cool. Initial sketches worked up.
Here we are. I'd say we were back when we started.
Strange beginnings
This is a little
beget
after
strange
that,
endings.
isn't it? Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too. We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean.
Things are missing. Mm-hmm.
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
That is some sexy stained glass you got going there.
And I've been here since you left me here. No hard feelings. I'm just glad you're back to see this through. Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
That's outside. It could be both. You don't know.
It really goes to show how much you've grown up. Killing somebody across every iteration of reality just by existing. I don't even know what I would do if I were in the driver's seat with that kind of power. Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so terrifying anymore. It's still shaped like a cabin, it's just different in places. There's still walls, a door to the basement, a table, that knife. Windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really included the windows in his cabin descriptions, did he?
He didn't.
I always thought they were implied. He never mentioned the mirror either, but that didn't mean he implied it was there. It's gone, though. I think it did whatever it needed to do. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
I don't know if I want to take the blade. I think by taking the blade, I am not walking into this with the honest intention of trying to not kill her. Right? Taking the blade means hedging your bets. And that is not in Admiral, you didn't see earlier runs with this, but I've usually tried to find the non-violent option with going through her with some things, for the most part. So I think in this particular case, we're going to not
No
take
blade
the blade.
it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far. If that's what you think is best, then that's what you think is best. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Those winding stairs
yes.
again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice? Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time. We don't know what you want from us, but let's talk. All of us. Maybe we can help you find your way.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together.
All right, we're gonna actually pause here because ads are about to play. So once again, go to the washroom, get a drink, get a snack, really contemplate reality now. Go to the washroom, and then we will return to probably get a finale to this game. I don't know what's gonna happen once we finish the game, but I'm going to continue playing this game. We're gonna revisit it next week, and I will probably use a guide from that point, assuming we actually hit the end of the game. I will use a guide to go and find the other endings so we can start tracking them down and just see how this plays out with the different things. But For now, we'll be right back. All right, let's go.
And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So you didn't bring the knife. After all the lives we've lived together, and all the lives we haven't, you somehow found a way to move outside of the script.
Yeah.
Are we missing a page? That's okay. No hard feelings. In a way, you helped us become a version of her. But we weren't very good at it. A conversation with us then probably wouldn't have been very insightful. That's probably why we were taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again.
After all we did, she's just forgiving us. Just like that. You know, that means a lot.
It is, for all of us. We've seen so many threads of stories told between us, but this moment is unexpected. Even when we've seen it all, you still managed to surprise us.
Hard agree. Seems overrated. Too much pressure.
But that's what you've always been, even now. You can't put aside such an important part of who you are, and neither can we. So, you might as well embrace it. Yes, we think. We're kind of like a shadow. Out there, every part of us is blended together into one huge idea. A big wave of unyielding change crashing against the world. But in here, we're fractured. Small. Still a little more separate than we'd like to be. Our instincts still trying to pull us in different directions.
That's kind of like us, isn't it? Yeah. We really are the same.
We don't know. We've seen through so many eyes, but all of them have been hers. We like you as you are. We like us as we are. Maybe we would have liked her version of us too, turning the wheel of a cosmic cycle together. But that's not the choice you made, even though she did everything in her power to convince you. It took courage for you to make your way down here, away from the paths others would have had you walk. We find that courage beautiful.
But that's the worst part of us. That's me she's talking about. I think that's the point. There is no worst part of us.
It's so tempting to speak as she would, to simply state that we're all of them, but that we're also something new. We don't know if you'll find that answer satisfying. Perhaps you'd rather hear that we're the first version of her that you've met, but that we've been shaped by the experiences of all of the others. Yes, that feels right to us.
It's her. It wouldn't make sense if she was anyone else.
We're just a stranger. But that doesn't mean we have to be distant from you. It just means that we'll always be able to find new things to discover in each other.
That's sweet. But it's also a little sad. I think it's only sad if we want it to be sad. Is it unfair if it's our fault?
Is it our fault?
Was it not? We found you at the end of all things, and you found us. Is that not fair? Would this moment be what it is without the pain that built to it? We know we must sound like her, but it's how we feel. Everything that happened to us seems so important now. We walked a long and winding path together, and we've cherished every second of it.
So, Admiral, you weren't here for the first half of it. This is more the person in it, like the Princess Prime, that we got to interact with. You didn't really get to see a lot of that since we basically hurtled towards unending.
Besides, I don't think fairness has much to do with anything.
He'd hate that. So you should do it. even if he isn't here anymore. It's the spirit of the thing.
I hate that I align so well with
But
Contrarian.
what would happen if we left with you? Would we exist inside ourselves? Are you sure you want to find out if that's possible or what that would mean for you? Is that what you want?
All of these are nice. I think I like this one the most.
After so many iterations, so many different versions of us clashing and coming together and clashing again, leaving with you feels like all we ever really wanted.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Yeah, I think we've done our job. We're not alone. We have each other. And I'm sure we'll find the others.
Hands clasped together, you and the princess leave the basement behind for the last time. It's quiet as you ascend, a comfortable silence filling a space that used to be flooded with violence and words and noisy thoughts. But there's an energy in the silence, an electricity, the anticipation of the unknown. At the top of the stairs, the princess stalls, eyes fixed on the cabin door. You feel their hand tremble in yours. They're unsure of themselves for the first time in their long and short existence. They have no part to play anymore, and they know this. Yet they still are. And then they cross the room to the door outside, pulling you excitedly with them.
We can feel the threads of all the stories we've told together, all pulling us back down the stairs and into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass. It's comfortable there, but it's confining. We want more. We want whatever might be on the other side of this door. Something new that we'll experience together, with someone who exists outside of us.
So long as I can exist inside you sometimes.
With someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves.
Oh, let's just go full sappy.
And we love you too.
And what happens next? Whatever it is, you'll face it together. So Jonathan Sims is the voice. Admiral, if you want to look that person up. Man, the stuff they do with the Serenity Forge engine in these games is wild. Given it's just supposed to be like a VN engine, people do some absolutely buck wild shit with it. It's awesome. Or not Serenity Forge, that's the publisher. What the hell's the engine of this called? Anyways, still mind-blowing. God, translating this game must be a whole thing. Writer and game designer, never heard of him. Oh, well. Yeah, Markiplier. Manly badass hero. These are people I know. Well, not personally. Finish the game. The good ending doesn't count. Thanks so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. Sure. And now that you've finished the full story for the first time, you've also unlocked the gallery. You can access it from the main and in-game menus under the Memories tab. It's full of clues that will help you find undiscovered vessels and interactions. Happy hunting. Okay. Memories, right? Oh my god. Find the Spectre, the Razor. Thought you said she said you went Arn. Damn both of you to an incomplete existence. That's probably like walking away from the mirror. Oh yeah, we become more gnarled over time. Like that's how we start. And then we get worse over time. God, there are so many endings. So these are the beginnings and the endings. So these are all the beginnings you can get. So I guess that's all the chapter 1 stuff. These are all the endings you can get. And then here's all the various vessels. Like, there's so much. Slay her without a moment's hesitation. She isn't armed, or is she? Fall to a feral captive. Betray her before she can betray you. Sometimes when you cut something out of you, a piece of you leaves with it. Kill your worst dreams or be killed by the ghost of your past. Become one with the princess in a very literal sense. May involve, but does not necessitate being eaten. Hey, there is a vor option. What does continue look like? Oh. Oh no, this is okay. The quotes thing doesn't get used enough, but thank you, Admiral. That's a very good quote. Okay, well, you know, it's midnight, so I think we'll just kind of wrap up here. But the plan going forward for... You can't do the vor option if T3 isn't around, though. It's true. Going forward, so not next week, but the week after, when we come back to slay the princess, excuse me, I'm gonna pull up a guide, because there's absolutely no way I would be able to puzzle my way through all of that. That's so many things. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 vessels we just haven't seen. Just straight up haven't seen. And then of them, there's so many versions of things that happen. Right? Like, so in order for us to actually 100% this game, or whatever we want to qualify it as, I'm just gonna have to pull up a guide, and we will just start kind of walking through it. I will probably start by trying to hit a whole new 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like you get 8 vessels in a run. So we will try and go through and just try and unlock 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just, you know, unlock the other ones. And we're just gonna, you know, chip away at it, and we'll try out some different endings, right? Because there's all these that we haven't done. So, yeah, that is going to be the plan, because I think this game is awesome. There's still there's at least 2/3 conservatively of direct narrative we haven't even touched. Yo, we voring? Not yet, Mossy, but apparently there is a voring option. Also, hi, Mossy. Hold on. One of these... Where was it? Become one with the princess in a very little sense. May involve, but does not necessitate being eaten. So, yeah, there might be a vor option. Dad, guess what? What's up, Mossy? What do you got for me? Once in my life, the Microsoft forums were helpful. Really? For once in your life? I found them helpful at least a couple times. We're going to come back over here. Ugh. So, finally got the firewall service working again. It not working breaks a lot of shit. Ah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I'm glad you got it working again, Mossy. How did it break before? What did you do? Thank you. Bless you, Ramesh. Srinivasan. So, I can't pronounce. Don't know. Just broke. Press X to doubt. Yep, that one. Yep. So yeah, that is a finale to Slay the Princess, but we are not done with the game. We're gonna go back and we're gonna explore everything else this game has to offer, because there's still so much game left. I mean, let's see here. Just pulling this up real quick. I have unlocked 24 of 131 achievements. That's so many. That is so many. Less than a quarter, exactly. So we've got a bit of work cut out for us here. But like I said, I'm going to be using a guide to traverse the rest of this. Because for me at this point, I've played the game organically. I got an ending that I'm actually pretty happy with. So I have no qualms with using a guide to basically give us the choices to traverse through. We will still obviously listen to everything that's being said. I'm not going to just like steamroll just to get endings. That's not what I want to do. But I don't want to do any guesswork, because if I fuck up, we'll just end up with an ending we already have, and that's literally what I don't want. So I will probably use an achievement guide, perhaps, to help steer things. We've got another 3 streams. We'll see. We'll see, Admiral. This is my canon ending. I'm happy with how I played the game and how it ended. I'm actually very pleased with where we went with that. I got the sappy I love you ending, and I'm super cool with that. But I would like to see the other endings, because 1, this game is cool. 2, Abby is an absolutely phenomenal writer. It is honestly, this is like a masterclass in branching narrative storytelling, and I just want to experience more of it. And it's my stream, so I get to do that if I want to. So yeah, we will use a guide in order to really be able to see all of that and have it showcased. But my guesswork is done. I made my choices. So, but that is going to do it for me tonight. Next week is Next Fest, so I'm just going to be playing a bunch of demos all week. That's the idea. The only other game like this is the Stanley Parable. Big fan of it. Mossy. Oh, I guess you are new to watching me. you need to go and check out Black Tabby's other game, Scarlet Hollow, which is basically this, but I mean, not with a princess god that you can befriend or stab, but it is a massively expansive narrative experience. And in fact, chapter 1 and 2 got redone recently for that, and it added so much. As I understand it, they basically added another novel's worth of narrative to the first 2 chapters of that game. Like, let that sink in. That's wild. It's baffling, boggling, enough to rustle your jimmies. It's insane. But I'm still waiting for chapter 5 to land, and apparently Scarlet Hollow is going to be 7 chapters long, which is, I don't even know. I think it was originally supposed to be 5 chapters, and now it's 7. Just to give you an idea of scale and scope and of what they're doing. But yeah, but next week, getting back to that, next week is just going to be demos for Next Fest. I have some already installed. We got Solsta, Twilight Monk, Koira, Kyborg. Is this game out now? Hold on, I'm just double checking something. Yeah, that game already came out. I have a demo for it. I might just play it anyways. It's got Robert Jordan syndrome. I don't know what that is, Admiral. I'm sorry. But if you're in the Discord, I am taking Next Fest game suggestions. So when Next Fest starts, if you see any demos you'd like to see me play, just like at me in the Discord and say like, hey, what about this game? And I'll add it to the pile and we will see if I get to it. I'm going to do my best. Because that's what I try and do during Next Fest. Is I just try and play lots of different stuff that the community wants me to try out on their behalf. So that's next week, and then we'll come back to Slay the Princess, and I'm gonna find myself a good guide to get through everything. But that is gonna do it for me tonight. So let's find someone to raid and mute. Who's up? Not a lot of people. It's weird. People don't stream on Fridays all that much, it seems. Well, does anybody have any suggestions? He wrote the Wheel of Time series. Oh. It was supposed to be a trilogy and ended up 11 books he wrote before he died, and then the 12th book became a trilogy of his own when Brandon Sanderson finished it. Wow. Jesus. Anyways, does somebody have a raid suggestion? I will take raid suggestions. I have a backup choice. But if someone has someone specifically, who's Ollie? Who's Ollie? Help me, Mossy. Just give me the full user. So many people in this group of Ollie Robs. I don't know that one. Who is this person? The Goofy Man?
Okay. Ooh, donations.
Wait, mute. I don't know who this person is. I have literally no idea who this person is. But sure, let's just do that. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid this person. This is Mossy's suggestion. Sorry, Emerald. It was a nice suggestion. I just went for the first one we got. You know him through Indy? Oh, okay. Well, then they're probably good people. So yeah, let's go say hi to Ollie. I mean, I guess Mossy knows Ollie, but I don't. So we're gonna go meet Ollie, and yeah, I'll be back next week with Next Fest stuff. So as always, and Mossy, listen up. Thank you, of course, for watching, and until next time, stay safe, have fun, be kind, and try your best out there. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Good night.